G'day viewers, Troy from Troy's Digital Arts channel. It's been probably over a month since I last went metal detecting. Thought I'd charge my detector up, brush it off and go out for another hunt. So I've just been doing other things like photography and stuff over the past month. Anyway, this particular area is just a local bit of like back area of my local neighbourhood. I sort of ride through here, walk through here a bit, and I always wonder what could I find around here. Anyway, so I thought I'd hunt this area and find out. So far I've just found my usual trash, nothing much. But anyway, just dug up something interesting. It's like an old, maybe car door handle or something, in a handle. Nothing to write home about, but worth filming for content's sake. Anyway, yeah, find the odd handle here and there when I go hunting. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to go and just hunt around this part here, then progress into the bushes, see what can be found down the hill there. Who knows, I might find some interesting stuff. Alright, see you next target. Okay viewers, got a high 36 signal, very jumpy. It's like big and chunky. I thought I'd dig it anyways, seeing it was a really high signal. Found this copper, I guess it's some kind of copper metal cap. Could be part of an old car wheel hubcap maybe, don't know. It was folded in half and I've just unfolded it. It's dome shaped. It's got some kind of squiggle on the inside. I don't know if it's meant to be anything specific or if it's just looks random to me. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it was some kind of picture or something that would have made it even more interesting. Anyway, alright, well, bag this up. Let's keep going, see what else is about. Okay viewers, first coin find, a brown bugger, 2-cent piece. Yeah, got a nice stable 27 signal, and yeah, I was kind of excited, but I kind of contained my excitement until I dug it up, and just as well I did, because yeah, it's just a 2-cent piece. Anyhow, oh, it's a coin. Alright, let's keep going. I'm just hunting a, I guess, homemade racetrack where I guess motorbikers, trial bikers race around. Seeing what I can find around here. Okay, let's keep going. Okay viewers, just found an old key. It says Dorio on it. Looks like an old house key, probably not all that old, but quite like the style of it. Alright, see you on the next one. Okay viewers, where I found that fancy looking key, got more signals and decided to dig them up. It's like I've got a key spill here. So we've got two more keys here. One's definitely a car key and the other's probably another house key or another door key to the house. And on top of that, remnants of the key chain and a key medallion, Jim Beam key medallion, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's trash, but it's interesting trash. Don't mind finding this stuff. It's better than just can slaughtering and the like. Alright, cool. See you next target. There viewers, just spotted a spanner. See what state of condition it's in. It's got surface rust to it, but I reckon it'd probably be useful when it's cleaned up. Alright, cool. Yeah, my brother Kenny's got a sonic cleaner now, so that and a cleaning agent, rust remover, I reckon we'll fix this spanner up. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, found another coin, another brown bugger, 1 cent this time. So I now have the brown bugger full house. Alright, let's keep going. Okay viewers, found a padlock. Nothing all that special. Not all that old, I don't think. Alright, see you next one. Alright viewers, just found my first predecimal coin. So yep, they are here. So it's I'm guessing it's a 1951. Yeah, it's a 1951 rue penny with George VI. Yeah. Well, I know that the housing nearby was put up in sometime in the late 50s. So of course, yeah, there will be some predecis about within the vicinity, and I wasn't wrong. So I'm really happy about that. Alright, so yeah, this area is definitely worth looking around at. Hopefully I might find me some silvers too. Alright, see you next one. Alright viewers, this is my highlight find of the day. This is one of those retro futuristic kind of cars. It's probably made sometime in the 1960s, judging by its design. Kind of in a small way reminds me of the Batmobile. Yeah, wow, this is pretty. When I find cars like this, to me they are exciting finds. I love finding these kind of cars. I'm not sure what this particular car is. I have to clean up, and yeah, it's a Hot Wheels design. Maybe I could probably try and just get some of the dirt off and see if I can get anything more in the description underneath. Yeah, it's still not quite legible. Still a little bit more scraping. Yeah, still not quite legible. I don't know what exactly this car is yet, but definitely going to look it up once I find out, because I literally want to buy one of these off eBay if there's any about there within my budget range, because this is just a really cool looking car. Alright. Yeah. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, I've just identified this car. It's a Hot Wheels Swingin' Wing. So that's the name of it. And it's meant to have like a wing on the back, which is evidently missing from this find, as well as the wheels. So yeah, that's cool that I was able to identify it despite only being able to read some of the details off the bottom here. I can't read all that small writing, even though I took pictures. And so yeah, I just took a photo of the image, uploaded to Google, and AI kind of helped a bit, and I punched in more in what I could read down below, and eventually I found a card matching the shape, and yeah, didn't take too long to identify it. It's amazing what you can do with AI and Google searching these days, identifying relics. Anyhow, this is a really cool car, and I'm going to now, when I get home, I'm going to search eBay, see if I can find one of these type of cars. So, because I want one for my collection now. It's just a cool looking car. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, just found an old bathtub plug or sink plug or something. Old heavy, so like a heavy metallic one. unlike the light rubber ones we got today. Alright, so next one. Hey viewers, just hunting the hillside here. Above is all the housing and all that. Not the original houses, of course. Most of them are getting replaced with bloody doghouse apartments. But anyway, yeah, just hunting the hillside here. Just found me a makeup bottle. Yeah, seeing what can be found around here. As the original houses here were here since I think the late 50s, so the original houses before those dog box apartments. So I can imagine there is some potential to find some old coins and relics around here. I mean, I've already found a 51 penny all the way down behind those bushes where that race track is. Alright, so next one. Alright viewers, found something pretty interesting. This looks like it's probably might be off a brooch, maybe. How's that kind of look? Brooch, what do you call them? A brooch medallion, something like that. But anyway, unfortunately it feels too light to be silver. It rang up high around the silver range, but it feels a bit too light to be silver, so I'm going to take a guess it's aluminium. Alright, well anyway, this is a pretty cool find. So next one. Hey viewers, just doing the walkway up to the main sports area where you got the criterium track. Yeah, just seeing if I can find any drop change. Yeah, didn't find any drop new change, but did find an old brown bugger, 1 cent piece. Alrighty, I'm just pretty much going to work my way up to the criterium track and then, yeah, call it a day. It's getting on the 5, getting dark, and I kind of want to go home. See you next one. Hey viewers, another brown bugger, 1 cent piece. That's 3 now. See you next one. Alrighty viewers, just under the grass there, I found $4. How's that? Goldie spill, eh? I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I got a 21 signal. I said, yeah, that's definitely a Goldie, definitely $2. And sure enough, I pulled out $2. And then I ran my pinpointer along nearby, got more signals, and yeah, picked two $1 coins out of the grass nearby. I'm going to do a bit more swinging around here, see if I can score a few more goldies. So yeah, that's a good find. That's really made my day. See you next one. Alrighty viewers, only walked a few feet, found myself $2. I'm now $6 richer. That's pretty cool. Yeah, be interesting to see how much change has been dropped at the entrance to the criterium track. Alright, just gonna pretty much comb over this area and see what else I can find. So next one. Alrighty viewers, just moved away from the entrance to the criterium track, just going sort of working along the outer skirts of the path area. Just found me $2, so I'm now $8 richer, so I'm really happy about that. Wonder if I can make it to $10 before I head off home. We'll see. Alright, see you next one. Hey viewers, another brown bugger, another 2 cent piece, so it makes 2 2-cent piece and 3 1 cent pieces I found in brown buggers today. Alright, see you next one. Hey viewers, I'm on my way home now. Thought I might carry on detecting my way back home, just see if I can rack up about $10 in cash. Yeah, just found me a doggy tag. Pretty much a bone-shaped doggy tag. Banjo, that's the name of the dog. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, just found another brown bugger. I'm pretty much just up my street. I think I'm going to call it quits now. Got to get home. Alright, this is my last find for the day. See you in the next hunt. Okay viewers, it's been probably a good number of weeks since I've last went hunting. Yeah, just been having crappy weather and yeah, just been into other things, and my motivation for hunting local just wasn't there. It's just a bit of a hassle if I want to go abroad and have to undo my metal detector, go on bike and go places. It just takes me longer to get from A to B, and before I know it the day's over. Those sort of factors just demotivate me a bit. But anyway, I've mustered up the motivation to disassemble my metal detector, pack it in my backpack and go riding out onto a location. And here I am near some industrial area in my hometown that I've not been to before. Yeah, so far I haven't found any old coins or relics, but well, I found a relic, mid 20th century relic, an old broken long neck beer bottle dated 1959. So it's a good sign that there's been early activity here, and I'm kind of hopeful I might find the odd root penny or something here. Yeah, I know near this area there's been activity dating back to the 19th century, which is why I'm interested in this area, because it hasn't exactly been touched by modern development. So yeah, I'm hunting around here hoping to find some really old stuff. So far, apart from the bottle, found jack diddly squat, dog shit nothing. That's what I normally say. But I am hopeful. There is a bit of like old brickwork around here. Yeah, bits of this and that, so who knows. And someone obviously has hung around here and yeah, drunk a long neck, so you never know. Alright, anyhow, hopefully I will find some other pretty cool stuff besides that bottle. See our next target. Alrighty viewers, I've just dug up a really interesting old bottle here. Yeah, I got a 23 to 26 signal. I thought, oh yeah, that's a pretty good signal. Dug it, hit a bottle, and I thought, okay, that's to be a bottle cap. Indeed it is. Then when I dug it out, I thought, wow, this is a pretty cool looking bottle. And yeah, it is a Continental brand liqueur bottle. So it's brand liqueur, and it was manufactured before 1980, as you have that old AGM logo. So it would have been made sometime before 1980. Could have been made anywhere between, I guess, 50s and the 70s. That's my guess. So yeah, it's a nice old liqueur bottle. I'm definitely keeping this. This is a pretty cool looking bottle. As for that beer bottle I spotted earlier, that's broken at the neck, so I'm not bothering with that. Plus, you know, they're pretty common, those beer bottles anyhow. Alright, cool. See you next one. Alright viewers, moved on now to pretty much just around the corner from that that swampy area that I was hunting. Anyway, I'm just hunting near an industrial area. We know over the railway track there used to be coke works there in the early 1900s or something along those lines. Anyway, just found myself a $2 coin. Yeah, got a solid 21, and I thought that's got to be a $2 coin, and indeed it is. Cool, $2 richer. Alright, I'm going to hunt around here for a little while, then I'll probably migrate to another spot if I've got time. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, just hunting a stretch of land here near the Princess Highway in Unadilla, near a bathroom shop. Yeah, I think there used to be a building here in this particular area once upon a time, so I'm giving it a go. Anyway, just found an old Leeds lemon cap from about the 70s, early 80s. So it's in not bad shape, so not a bad find in terms of bottle caps. Alright, Anyway, let's see what else is around here. See you in the next one. Hey viewers, found me a brown bugger, 1 cent piece. Alright, see you in the next one. Hey viewers, found a tag of some sort. Just hunting nature strip here near some industrial buildings. So it says model HT 55-1. Says maximum heater output or something. It's probably a heater maybe. Anyway, see you next one. Hey viewers, found another device tag, kind of similar to the last one, a bit more buckled up. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, just found another brown bugger, 1 cent piece. See you next one. Okay viewers, brown bugger number 3, another 1 cent piece. See you next one. Okay viewers, found the knob off a hot water tap. Screw on piece that goes on top, or just goes into the tap handle. Alright, so next one. Alright viewers, found me another goldie, another $2, so now $4 richer. Oh, that's cool. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, it's several days later since my last hunt. I'm out hunting a reserve land that's on the old aerial photos. Doesn't appear to have had any structures here in the past or anything. I think I've hunted here once before but didn't find anything and just moved on. So I was just sampling areas. But today I'm going to give this area more attention, because I know further up there used to be, I think, back in the late 19th century, early 20th century, there used to be coke works or something like that over the railway, like where that building is up in the distance. Yeah, there used to be an industrial zone there back in the late 19th century to early 20th century. And I kind of figured, okay, I can't get there, which is a bummer, because it's got that big ass building in place. So I thought, who knows, maybe this area might have had some activity back in the day too. So I'm going to give this area a much more thorough going over this afternoon, and yeah, see what I can find. By the way, yeah, when I was riding my bike out here, I had my detector sort of disassembled, sitting in my backpack. I bloody hit one of those no stopping signposts. The top of my bag, and the top part of the top of this metal detector just whacked the signpost, and the signpost bloody bent right over, and I was like, holy shit. And I was expecting there to be some physical damage, but surprisingly it did not damage the detector at all, and thankfully the detector is actually working. Yeah, relieved about that. I was expecting a broken detector originally. Thank God that didn't happen. Alright, enough of me waffling on, let's get to it. So the first interesting target. Alrighty viewers, first decent target, a nice old toy car that's actually complete. It's actually a rarity to find an old toy car complete with all its wheels on and it's all of its body. I mean, of course the paint is kind of flaked off, but apart from that it's in actually decent shape. If I can get this cleaned up, I can probably repaint it and restore it. So yeah, this is I can see the date. It dates 1977, and it's called a Morgan Plus 8. I think that's the name of this car, Morgan Plus 8. It's trying to think the company, the brand name is. Yeah, not sure. Can't really read that, but Either way, yeah, it's a Morgan Plus 8 car, die-cast car manufactured in 1977. How cool is that? Beautiful. See you on the next target. Alrighty viewers, yeah, normally I dig a lot of can slaw and it's like meh and it does my head in, but when I find a vintage cans from the 70s, 80s and even earlier, they actually do excite me, and this one is, this particular find excites me quite a bit. It's a vintage Pepsi Cola can from, I'd say, the 70s to the very early 80s, when they used to use those old pull-off ring pull tabs. And what makes this one extra special is it's got an advertised competition to win a Yamaha motorbike. So yeah, that is really cool. I like it when I find these kind of cans. And it's in pretty shitty shape on that side, but it's in not too bad shape on this side. Anyway, when I clean up my finds, I'll cut the tops off and yeah, flatten out the can body like I do with all my other old cans that are you know, crinkled up like this. That's how I preserve my old cans. Because yeah, they are actually of interest to me. But yeah, this is a really cool find. Alright, see you on the next target. Okay viewers, first checking the forever. First coin find of the day, just an ordinary brown bugger, 2-cent piece, with a bit of a green corrosion patina-y kind of look to it. It's pretty much toasted. Anyway, it's a coin find, so yeah, first one on board. Hopefully I might find predecimals down here, but there was no houses down here in the predecimal period, so it's unlikely, unless in the far distant past there used to be shacks or whatever around here. Who knows? But anyway, let's keep hunting. Okay viewers, another brown bugger, 1-cent piece. Yeah, serious, pretty desolate of coins and all that. I dare say this place has been hunted out before by other detectorists. I mean, pretty much any reserve would have been around the Illawarra has probably been hit at least a few times. Alright, let's keep going. Okay viewers, got a 19 signal, dug it up and thought I'd film this while they're still in situ. I'm betting they're two 20-cent coins right in situ. Let's pick them out and confirm this. And indeed they are 20-cent coins. Alrighty, cool. I'm now 40 cents richer. See you in the next one. Okay viewers, found a big heap of lead that's kind of shaped in a certain way. I'm assuming this is possibly a homemade sinker. But then again, I can't seem to find any holes in it. Well, it's got some knobs poking out of it, so I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of an interesting find anyhow. Alright, let's keep going. Really not finding much around here. But I'll hunt around here a little while longer, then I might go on to another location, or I'll just call it a day and go home. I'll decide on that once I've had enough of this place. Alright, see you next one. Hey viewers, just dug me a carabiner clip, and it actually looks to be in not too bad shape. It still works. It's got that springiness to it, so it can still be used. Just needs a bit of a clean up. So that'll be useful. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, Found an old keyhole plate. Don't know if it's off a house door, if it's off a cupboard. Probably off an old house door maybe. No idea how old it is. Anyway, one of the more interesting junk finds of today. Besides that Pepsi can. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, moved on to a new spot now. It's pretty much, yeah, just a bit of land and bush near one of the main roads. I know there used to be structures around this part back in the 50s and all that. So I thought, yeah, let's have a look around here. Alright, so first somewhat interesting find is an old ring pull top can, which is an old Tui's draft can, made in the 70s I'm guessing, or early 80s. Alright, so next one. Alright viewers, just out in the nature strip now near the main road. Just found me a goldie, so that's cool. I'm now $1.40 richer. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty much the stretch where there was some, like, you know, small structures around here. Probably, I guess, probably for railroad maintenance workers, I suppose, because they're next to a big railway up there. Anyhow, I'm just checking this area out to see if I can find anything from that time period. So far not found anything else, but still early days yet. We'll see how we go after I comb this area. Okay viewers, just hunting the nature strip area out here. This is where there used to be some small structures about, which kind of like between this footpath and cycleway and the road. Anyway, yeah, I'm guessing it's probably like a little shacks or something for railway maintenance workers, I suppose. There's a railway up there. Alright, well anyway, I've just found myself my first gold the other day, $1. So I'm now $1.40 richer. Anyhow, so I've just hunted along near the cycleway. Haven't really found anything else, but still early yet. I'm still yet to go around this particular area, and we're going to hunt in the bushes a bit there. Although there's a lot of trash, so probably going to find a lot of cans or something, but we'll see how we go. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, found your obligatory padlock, Lockwood brand. I think it's all that old. Alright, so next one. Okay viewers, that'll do it for today. Yeah, a bit disappointing around this nature strip area. Apart from that $1 coin, I found dog shit nothing. Yeah, I was pretty much expecting it was most likely going to be the case. Oh well, won't bother coming back here again. Anyway, trying to pack all my gear away into my backpack and ride on home. See you on the next location some other day. Okay viewers, it's over a week later and I'm hunting another local area that I've never been to before. It's just a big, I'm guessing it's reserve land. It's just on the side of the road that goes up to the mountains. Yeah, it goes along a there's a creek that goes along that's, yeah, been utilised back in the 1800s, I believe. I'm not surprised if people have come around here back in the olden days, so that's why I'm giving this area a go. I'm doing this on a hunch pretty much, because I've seen old photos around this creek and all that from back in the day, and I feel like, yeah, there's got to be some old relics and perhaps coins and maybe jewellery within the vicinity. So yeah, anyway, first interesting target. I've only dug a bit of can slaw and a bit of rubbish so far, but first kind of interesting target is I'm guessing this is an aluminium ingot or some kind of metallic ingot. Not the heaps interesting, but good enough for video content, I guess. Looks like it's been been gouged at. Alrighty, well, I'm going to be spending the arvo hunting around this joint and see what I can come up with. Hopefully I'll come up with something good. See you next target. Hey viewers, haven't really been finding much around here. Yeah, I keep my expectations extremely low when I hunt these places, and because most of the time you don't really find anything that great. That's just the reality of metal detecting in Australia. But anyway, found an old 70s founder cap. Nothing much to show, but at least it's from the 70s and not from the more recent period. I haven't actually been finding any much modern rubbish here, so that's good. Anyway, keep on hunting along. Who knows, my luck might change very soon. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, found this disky thing. Don't know what it is. I'm going to assume it's probably off a car maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, at least it's better than can slaw. See you in the next one. Okay viewers, this area has been pretty much a disappointment. Been finding dog shit, nothing. Nothing that's, you know, of any real value. Just the only relics I found was the odd, like the founder bottle cap and bit of an old 2's can and like 70s vintage pretty much. Nothing major. Anyway, found my second I guess aluminium ingots. Yeah, I'm going to shove off soon and go somewhere else. Not much point carrying on here. Oh, it's nice to be out in the nature for a bit. Nice day for it, nice weather. Oh yeah, there's a coal train going up the mountain. Alright, anyway, going to finish up very shortly and move somewhere else. See you in the next one if I find anything good around here. Alright viewers, I've moved on now. Well, I've moved pretty much further eastbound from the reserve land area that I've been hunting all afternoon. I'm hunting the smaller area that's further eastbound, and yeah, I'm actually starting to luck out a little bit. I've found a somewhat interesting relic. Looks like it's got the world globe on it. So yeah, it's not a bad find actually. Don't know how old it is. It's made of that crappy metal that just flakes apart though, so don't think it's all that old, but it's still not a bad find. Anyway, I'm going to spend the remainder of the arvo around here. Yeah, I've dug like a foot down and found a bloody can top, a ring pull can top in the main reserve land area, so that was pretty crappy. So I imagine it's been a lot of topsoiling there or something like that, and all the really good stuff's probably really deep beyond the reach of my detector. So I'll concentrate more along the hillside here, which is where I found this relic. I reckon I might find a few more goodies around here. Alright, so next one. Okay viewers, swung over the area where I found that that world globe relic thing and got another signal, a very intense signal. Dug it up and got a whole set of keys. So I dare say that world globe thing is a keychain fob. That's what I reckon it is. Yeah, so it's a bunch of keys. I count 1, 2, at least 4 keys on this key ring. See if we can pry them apart. So yeah, 4 keys. So yeah, you got like a few keys to the house and 1 car key. I think this key here has got a plastic coating on it, so that indicates that World Globe fob thing is not all that old at all. I'm going to take a guess it wouldn't date earlier than the 1980s. So not all that old, but still it's an interesting find of sorts. Anyway, set of keys for you. See you in the next one. Okay viewers, found another interesting relic. An old jar lid, which has an M, a gender symbol, and a B and a star above. So yeah, that's a very interesting find. It's a big jar lid. I'm going to take a guess this dates from anywhere between the 50s to the 70s. That's where I reckon that this would date around about. But anyway, quite a cool find, to be honest. Alright, well, anyway, I'm just going to hunt around here a little while longer and then head off. This is probably going to be the highlight find of the day, really. It's older than the key chain fob and all that. Alright, let's see what else there is to find before I head off. See you next one. There you go viewers, just found the obligatory padlock. Usually find one here and there in your hunts. This one says drawbridge on it. Doesn't look all that old. So it's probably made within the last 40 years, I'd imagine. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, it's been about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks since I last had a hunt. I can't even remember now. But yeah, last time I was hunting, I was hunting along this particular creek, but further out that way. Now I'm in another area where there's a lot of reserve land and relatively new housing there that's been sort of developing over the past 15 odd years. But anyway, I've hunted out this way once before. I haven't found nothing, but I'm trying my luck again now with my Equinox, and hopefully my luck might change. I haven't particularly hunted down here before, but anyway, I'm kind of sticking along this creek because I just somehow have a feeling there is history to this area, and I just feel it's worth having a look. I've seen old photos from the 9th century that were taken around this area, and one had Mount Kembla in the background and had an old barn on the other side of what I assume is to be this creek. So yeah, I just want to see for myself whether there is old stuff to be found. Anyhow, I've dug an old, not so old relic, but it's probably from, I don't know, 70s or earlier, probably 60s or earlier maybe even. Just an old cream tube, nothing special, but just filming it for content's sake. But anyhow, that's the very first find. I'm gonna yeah, do a bit of detecting along the creek and along the reserve land, and just go random areas and just see what pops up. Alright, so the next one. Okay viewers, this is the sort of thing that's been bugging me for quite a while. Finding bloody disposable vapes everywhere. Unfortunately, we live on a planet where not everybody is considerate of the environment, and they just throw their shit everywhere. And yeah, even nice places like this, you're going to find disposable vapes along with other garbage, and these bloody things are everywhere. Anyway, it's one of my bugbears. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, one of the more unusual finds of the day. A big electrolytic capacitor, rated at 220 microfarads, 450 working volts. Yeah, I find electronic components around the oddest of places sometimes, circuit boards and components and capacitors. So yeah, it's weird finding one of these down here. Certainly not going to be a goer anyhow. Anyway, alright, pack it away, see you in the next one. Okay viewers, dug up what kind of looks like a horse stirrup, but it's a bit small for the average size foot. I mean, looks like it looks way too small to be a stirrup, but it looks kind of like a stirrup. Anyway, I got no idea what this actually is, but it's a relic of sorts. If anybody knows what this actually is, comment below. Alright, see you in the next one. Okay viewers, a pretty cool can find. I found a 1970s Courage Draft beer can. It's definitely around the 70s, possibly even late 60s even. I just did a quick read up about Courage Draft, and it was introduced in 1968. Then Tooth's brewing company took over the brand, and I guess it was phased out at that point. I don't know. I needed a quick read up. So definitely, yeah, sometime in the 1970s this can dates to. But anyhow, I just found it just under the grass there. I actually thought that I was just going to get a modern can, like a modern Coke or V can or something like that. But no, I was surprised to find this old can. Quite like the logo. The Courage is pretty well worn off, but this is still, but the barrel is still pretty much intact. Anyway, yeah, I love finding old cans like this. Quite fun to my opinion. See you next one. Hey viewers, dug another old can from the 70s. This time it's a Woolies lemonade can. Woolworths, that is. It's pretty much split in two halves. Must have actually cut it up when I dug it up. Shame, because it's kind of a cool find anyways. It's got the old Woolworths logo on it. And yeah, it'd have to date from sometime in the 70s. The unusual thing about these Woolworths cans is they actually are flat tops, and they requiring a church key to punch triangular holes into the top of the can so you can drink from it, which is how cans were made back in the olden days, before the first ring pull system was invented in, like, I think the very late 50s. But yeah, generally the early cans made from the 30s to the early 60s used had flat tops, and you had to punch triangular holes in the flat top of a church key. Some reason in Australia in the 70s, the Woolworths cans were still flat tops when ring pulls were typically the opening system used. Don't know why that is. It's not the only one I've found that has a flat top punched with a church key. I remember many years ago in the Southern Highlands, in some bushland, I found like a heap of old cans, like Woolworths drink cans, which were flat tops. Anyway, it's unusual, but yeah, that's how it was. Alright, so yeah, 70s flat top Woolworths lemonade can. Kind of like the logo work on this. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, this is one of those moments that actually depressed me. Yeah, got a 20-something signal, dug down probably about a couple of feet of earth just to find this bloody, I don't know, sardine can or whatever it is. And it's probably not all that old. Might be about 40 years old, I don't know, but just the fact that something relatively modern is just down that deep in the earth just kind of disheartens me a bit, because it means all the older stuff would be way further down. But it's probably not like this all around this area. But I don't know. I don't know whether earth has been dumped around here or what over the years. So it's one of those things, you know. When you find modern stuff deep, you just know you got less of a chance of finding old stuff, unless not the whole entire area has been bloody lumped with dirt. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, just hunting down in the creek here. Moved on to another spot, but haven't been really finding much up there. Just hunting down here, haven't really found anything apart from a ring pull. Anyway, yeah, found this unusual rock. It's got like a triangular hole cut into it. I don't know if this is man-made or if it's something of nature, but it sure is interesting. I'm definitely keeping this rock. I'll clean it up when I get home and just see if this is actually a natural phenomenon or not. Anyhow, kind of a cool find. See you next one. Alrighty viewers, I've moved on to another spot. I'm just down in the creek once again, but further north. Anyway, just found myself part of an old toy gun. Not the usual Lone Star pistols that I find, but yeah, this one's actually says Crime Fighter on it. Don't know what company makes it, but it's made in China by the looks of it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of a cool little pistol. Pity it's not complete, but yeah, it's just how it goes. Might find the other half of it somewhere around here if I persevere a bit more. Yeah, I'll have to Google image search this one and see if I can find out exactly what kind of a toy pistol this is. Yeah, see you next one. Alright viewers, found another rather interesting rock with a kind of triangular hole. Looks more like a bullet really, in shape. But yeah, it's what a pretty cool looking rock. Could be petrified wood maybe, I don't know. It's definitely coming with me. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, it's about 6 days later, and it's a nice sunny day, so I thought I'd go hit my local beach park. So pretty much, yeah, local beach park. I've hunted here many times. Finds are very sparse, but occasionally I do find something good. It's been well hunted out over the years, of course. Anyway, yeah, just found me an old 50-cent piece, which is not bad. Not a bad start. Anyway, let's hope I find some more cool stuff. See you in the next one. Okay viewers, just hunting more so in the park area near a beach restaurant where there's a bunch of trees and stuff. I've hunted here before and found silvers and all that. Although now, the past several times I've hunted here, haven't really found much. Anyway, just a brown bugger, 1-cent piece. Nothing special. Go just do another hunt around here, and sometimes you hunt the same place for several times, not find anything, and then the next time you hunt you find something. I've had that happen, so giving this place another go, see what happens. See you next one. There you go viewers, brown bugger number 2. Now brown bugger full house, 2-cent piece. So yeah, I now have a 1 and a 2-cent piece. Not bad condition though. I think this will scrub up nicely if I were to clean up. Alright, see you next one. There you go viewers, another brown bugger, another 2-cent piece. See you next one. Okay viewers, brown bugger number 4. This time a 1 cent. So I now got 2 1 cents and 2 2 cents. See you next one. Okay viewers, I think I'm in brown bugger central because I just found my 5th brown bugger. Another 2 cent piece. Alright, see you next one. Hey viewers, found what looks to be some kind of, I don't know, earring, ear stud, something like that. Probably junk jewelry because the metal there is rusted, and that's got to be a fake diamond. Just cheap ass jewelry. Mimco it says, I think. Still, it's interesting find all the same. Alright, see you next one. There you go viewers, got a brown bugger sunbaker. Brown bugger sunbaker I meant. 1 cent piece. Also, yeah, see a bit of glass about. Always pick it up, especially when you're in an area where there's going to be kids who can potentially step on it. Alright, see you next one. Alrighty viewers, finally found something pretty good. I've found what looks to be, I guess, an earring of some sort. Looks a bit unusual. Looks like, I don't know if it's an earring or what. But it's got some kind of screw thing on the back. It rang up about 21-ish. So there's a good chance it's actually sterling silver. That might not be at the same time, who knows. Yeah, it's a pretty cool find. Happy to have found this. This has kind of made my day a bit because my finds have been pretty dry today. Alright. I looked for hallmarks and I haven't found any yet, so I can't say for sure this is sterling silver. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay viewers, one of the more unusual finds down here at the beach. A mains cord. I wonder what it'd be plugged into. Let's find out. It's plugged into the earth. Anyway, yeah. Find it kind of amusing when I find stuff like this. Looks like a plug from, I don't know, maybe the 70s and 80s. Made for maybe a TV or something, who knows. Anyway, gonna bag it, bin it. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, looks like somebody's left a toy large ant in the sand. Normally I don't pick up toys and all that, but it's like no one's going to be collecting this, so there's nobody around, so I may as well take it. I think this will probably make a good prop for my photography. Alright, see you next one. Okay viewers, here's a wrap up of my many hunts I've done over, I don't know, the past few months maybe. I've kind of lost track of when I began this video series. But anyway, yeah, hunted a number of places and yeah, found some cool things here and there, and this is my accumulation of interesting finds and cool finds. Yeah, so we'll start off with the coins. Found one solitary predecimal, which is a rue penny from, I believe, 1951. It's a little bit hard to read the date. Yeah, found my usual brown buggers, quite a lot of them. How many did I find? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 brown buggers. Yeah, I found $13.90 in cash, which is pretty cool. By today's standards, that is. Yeah, I found a little bit of jewellery. That's like a junk earring. That's, I believe is an earring. It's definitely, it says silver on it, so it's a sterling silver. I don't know whether this is a valuable gem on the inside, or if it's just a cheap gem. But anyway, that was a pretty cool find. And that, I don't know if it's looks like it's made of aluminium. It's probably off a party costume brooch or something, I don't know. Yeah, I found this doggy tag which says banjo on it. Found the knob off hot water tap. Yeah, found a few safe or model tags or safety tags or something like that. Don't know what that is, but it was kind of interesting. Found this toy ants on the beach. Yeah, some of my coolest finds. A couple of old die-cast model cars. This one is in surprisingly decent condition, or really good condition for considering the fact that it's been in the dirt for so long. Normally when I find these cars, they're in decrepit condition, they've broken apart, or at the very least they're missing at least a few of their wheels. This one's pretty much all intact. I've cleaned the dirt out as best as possible. The wheels are still intact and freely moving after cleaning it up. So this is made by what's it? I think it says Tomica, and it's made. This car type was manufactured in 1977. So there's a Morgan Plus 8. That's what it is. Made in Japan. So yeah, this toy car from 1977, and it's in pretty decent shape, considering in fact it's been in the earth for maybe a good few decades. Can't say the same for this other car, which is a shame, because this is a really cool looking vehicle. But yeah, it's kind of like a space age looking vehicle. I've done my research on it. I've forgotten exactly what it is, but it's a Hot Wheels machine. It's made in 1969, I think it says on there. So these are like late 60s, early 70s. Yeah, it's a Hot Wheels Stingwing, and yeah, they were made, you know. Yeah, this one says 1969, so it's around that period, late 60s, early 70s. These were made, and it had like this used to have a plastic wing on the back, but it's obviously missing, and it's obviously missing its wheels too. But yeah, I really like finding cars like this. They look really cool. Now, onto the other finds. A couple of old bottle caps from the 70s. Leeds Lemonade, Fanta. Yeah, found the obligatory keys. Yeah, a few keys about, and a keyring of keys. And we've got couple of keyring medallions. One of those medallions is connected with this set of keys. I think it might have been this one. It's hard to read. It's, yeah. We've got the Jim Beam key ring medallion. Yeah, I found a couple of interesting old rocks with cavities in them. They're kind of triangular shape, which is, yeah, not something I see every day. Yeah, I found them by the creek side when I was hunting near a creek. Alright, found this jar lid that says M and MB, and it's got what looks like a, I don't know, gender symbol. It's quite an interesting cap. It's probably, I'd say it's probably around the 50s, 60s era. Yeah, found a car door handle Found this lock plate, an old bath plug, part of a toy cap gun. Found that down by the creek. This what's they call them, carabiners or something. It's still functional. So that can be still used. Now this cap here, it looked like just an ordinary cap. It was folded over and I unfolded it, but it looks like it's got some kind of, I don't know, landscape kind of drawing etched into it. It could be a whale or something like that. It's just has somebody's etched something into this. I just can't quite make out what it is. I'd have to clean this up with electrolysis and so I can get a better idea what's been etched in there. So that's very interesting. I thought it was just a random squiggles or something, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it looks like a drawing of some sort. Now this, I don't know, it looks like a tiny little stirrup. I don't know whether it is or not, but yeah, it's a peculiar object. It looks like a little stirrup, but this can only really fit baby feet in it, really. It's too small for the average foot. So I don't think it's a stirrup. Now this, I don't know what this is off, but chrome plated steel, rusty underneath. Don't know what that's off. And I found a couple of, I guess, aluminium ingots. Found this spanner here, which could be potentially cleaned up and reused. My brother's got a sonic cleaner, which can clean the rust off it. And over here we've got some old cans. Includes a Courage Draft beer can from around the 70s. This Pepsi can, which you can win a Yamaha motorbike. I'd say this would be sometime in the 70s or the early mid-80s. But I'd say more so probably 70s, very early 80s. Still using the old ring pull tops. This got the 70s era Woolworths lemonade can, which has unfortunately got damaged when I tried to extract it. And it's an old flat top where you use a church key to punch triangle holes in it. I'm actually I've found cans like this before. I'm actually very intrigued as to why flat tops were still made in the 70s when the ring pull tops were in full production with cans. And finally, I've got this really cool liqueur bottle. It says Continental, so it's a Continental liqueurs bottle. And it says, I think it says brand liqueur, so it's a brand. Yeah, brand liqueur, Continental. I think these were around between the 60s and the 80s. I did my research. I think that's the era these were about. And they had, like, labels on them and everything, which have all obviously rotted away from this bottle. But yeah, it's quite a nice bottle, and it's definitely a keeper in my opinion. So yeah, whilst I've only found one predecimal, which I like finding predecimal coins, not finding them is kind of disappointing, but yeah, apart from that, I found quite a lot of cool other stuff that's of real interest. The prize find would have to be this Morgan +8 car because the condition is just so good. I'm just in awe of how this car was really well preserved in the ground. As said, I find these cars in pretty crappy condition, missing wheels, parts broken off them, etc., etc. This one is just in stunning shape for considering it's been in the ground for so long. Alright, well anyway, that was a interesting, great lot of hunts I've done over, I don't know, past few months. Anyway, well, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for my next lot of hunts. This is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel signing out.